3rd and 6 for Dalton and the Bengals. And let's see if they rule out a fumble. Raiders try to bat it back in bounds.
Well, they did a nice job of it.
They will sort this out. Sanu was the intended receiver.
There's a lot going on here. I mean, Sanu, did he have control and fumble it? And if he did, the Raiders say they batted it back in bounds. Then they got an early whistle from the officials who called it quits. Now, does Sanu have complete control of this? 2 hands on the ball, no feet down yet, ball's tucked away, both feet on the ground, and then the ball's punched out. To me, that's a catch. Fumble, no question about it. Hansen knocks it loose right here after he's got both feet on the ground. That's a fumble. Now watch as the ball bounces toward the sideline. The defender comes in and bats it back in. But the whistle comes early. The Raiders picked it up and went, but listen to the whistle. That's an early whistle because the ball was not out of bounds when the defender batted it. Unless that ball was on the sideline here, perhaps it was, but as this ball bounces out, does it get out of bounds? No! That's the early whistle that you saw. That should be a touchdown, Oakland, and they're not going to get it. In fact, they may not get possession. 2 huge misses by the officiating crew have cost the Raiders big time. A clip on a screen pass, and then this play that really should have ended in an Oakland touchdown.
Tyvon Branch is the man who scooped it up and ran it in after the whistle.
What an enormous heads-up play by Hansen to keep that ball in bounds.
First to strip it away, and then the heady play right there, knocking it back in bounds.
Unbelievable heads-up play by Hansen, and you can see the sidelines are all over it. They know they've got the ball coming. It all comes down to, did Sanu have possession? And I think he did. I think the officials messed this up 6 ways from Sunday.
And you can take a lot of things back, but you can't take back the whistle.
That's right. You can't make everything right, even with replay. Wow. An inadvertent whistle completely crushes the Raiders on that play. And believe me, I'll hand it to Alberto Riveron for admitting an inadvertent whistle. Yeah, and that's the inadvertent whistle, and that is a game changer for the Bengals, a game saver for the Bengals, and a game changer for the Raiders. And I'll tell you, you would think that there would be an obvious possession, and it was an obvious recovery by the Raiders, and I don't know why that doesn't go past the whistle. But it doesn't. Because of the inadvertent whistle, everything goes dead at that point because there was no possession.
So not only is it not a turnover and not a touchdown, but the Bengals keep the football.
Wow. You can't overstate how bad that is. And there's no question. The officials knew it. It was an inadvertent whistle. A tremendous play by Joselio Hansen to knock the ball loose, keep it in bounds, give his team a chance. They scoop it up, run to the end zone only to be called back. And it's still Bengals ball and replay the down that the Raiders have stopped already. And you know, we started this season with replacement officials across the NFL, and there's no question we're all happy to have them back. And this is one of the most difficult sports to officiate. But Dennis Allen has to stand there, and If you're on that sideline, and you're outraged.
It was almost like they had anticipated that it would go out of bounds and blew the whistle despite what was happening on the field.
Well, right now the officials are saying, is there any way we can get this right with what the rules say and what we're able to do? And they can, because Oakland deserves the football. Actually, Oakland deserves a touchdown. They're not going to get that, and now they can't even get possession of the football, and there's nothing the officials within the rules can do to help them or to make it right, in other words. It's a bad situation. The officials now are bound by the rules because of the inadvertent whistle.
Now, this will be one of those we're sorry situations, but nevertheless, 3rd and 6. The Bengals keep the football and a 27-10 lead.
The Raiders can't take their foot off the gas. They can't get discouraged by that bad break. They got to stay in this defensively.
And we've got a flag before the snap. And now this is getting ugly.
Yeah, now you got frustration, and that's what happens when
started with Andrew Whitworth and Lamar Houston because of a questionable late hit on Andy Dalton.
And I'll tell you what, you do not want to be at the bottom of that. Now they're trying to get cooler heads prevail, and the officials can do whatever they want, but they got Dennis Allen out there. The head coach is on the field trying to help. And there's some guy, Tommy Kelly there with his helmet off. And the officials can do what they want, but it really takes players to pull those things apart. The officials can't get that done. You got to let the cooler heads of the players pull those guys apart. Well, here's what happened at the end of it. The whistles are blown. It was a late whistle before the snap, and Lamar Houston takes him down. That wasn't flagrant. But Andrew Whitworth, who's on the left tackle, didn't like it, and he comes over and gets after it. And that's where it goes south very quickly. And the league will be dissecting every inch of film available to them to start levying fines and suspensions if it's deemed necessary. But this, let's face it, this play was inspired by the play before with the turnover that didn't happen. A 17-point lead by the Bengals, which should have been 10 in a heartbeat, now goes back to 17 with the ball still in the Bengals' hand with a chance to extend that drive. And there's some frustration.
Another conference. Now Riverrod has had his hands full. Let's see if they get Shaughnessy for throwing a punch.
Well, I'd be surprised if anybody got ejected, even though, there was some offenses going on down there. Well, what happened is, to begin with, Whitworth
is out. He'll have to leave the field. So Lamar Houston and Tommy Kelly are done for the day.
And Lamar Houston was the guy who threw who took Dalton to the ground. There, Whitworth, he's not helping things right there. He's not happy. But I don't think he turned around his left tackle. That play on Dalton happened behind him, and he came in late, seeing Dalton on the ground. And that's Whitworth, and he's the guy, kind of the instigator of the whole thing. Cooler heads were going to prevail. Whitworth came from all the way from left tackle over to the right side, thinking his quarterback had been waylaid, and it wasn't. Both those guys have to leave. That's a long walk. The crowd's letting them hear about it. And now the Bengals get caught for 12 guys in the huddle. They get another 5 yards tacked on. This has not been a good stretch for Alberto Riveron and the officiating crew.
So after a 12-minute gap, it's 3rd and 11. Play action. Green. Agent Green. Goodness gracious.